Welcome to Neutral Voices, the place where your voice matters. This is an amazing
Yes, it is.
What's Going
What's
On
going on,
segment
Doc?
What's
How you
going
from
doing?
Neutral
on?
Voices.
What's going on?
How y'all
Yes.
doing? Everybody doing good?
And this is where we keep it local for you. And as one of our NV family members said earlier today, keeping you in the loop.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like that. He
Yes.
said he liked to tune in because it keeps him in the loop. I
Yes.
said, okay, there you go.
Yes, yes.
That's a name for us. So anyway, so speaking of keeping us all in the loop, so what I like about it is because I get a little bit from everybody. So this is my news talk time.
Oh no.
So so with that thought, just thinking about things on a local level, one of the things I keep hearing about a lot is money, 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 money.
Just like that.
Just like that?
Just
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I'm saying that because the stimulus,
Uh-huh.
but then people still trying to get some of that money.
Yes.
What when
That's out there.
PPP loan?
PPP,
Yeah.
and what is it? The idle, as
Yes.
they call it, the disaster relief.
Yes.
So people still trying to get
So
money.
can you still get the PPP loan grant or whatever it's
You
called?
can still get it,
Yeah.
but you better have a company.
Yeah. No.
I'm just saying,
You
people
right.
don't
You
realize
I got E-Fights Enterprise.
payroll.
Payroll protection.
Listen, warning,
Yes,
warning.
yes, yes.
If you apply for the PPP loan, I hope you have a company.
Wow. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting when that all falls out. It's going to be real
Yeah,
interesting.
so-
Maybe a lot of people will have a company here pretty soon.
I was gonna say, if they don't have one, if they didn't,
I told
have
you I
one,
got the
they gonna
E-Fights
start
company.
one.
Well, I tell you, the loan is forgivable if you have a company that has a record. But now, if you can't provide, when they come back and ask you for those records, and you can't provide it, that loan ain't forgivable.
I know that.
It ain't.
That's fraud.
Yeah,
Well, I got records.
well, it's okay, and I say that because it's been a lot of people applying for loans,
Yeah.
and even that PPP loan
Oh,
that
yeah.
I know personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do not have a legitimate business. So, I just, hopefully that don't go haywire. But anyway, so that's just a little business insight for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what you got? I know you got something good.
I do. First of all, this weather today, though.
Oh, yeah, it was nice.
I mean, really?
Goodness.
It was snowing
Yeah.
last week, and
Yeah,
now
it's a
it's
total contrast from last
97
week.
degrees. So
Well, you got to think about it. We had
Hot
last week.
flash out there.
Last week we had every weather we can have
Every-
in 1 hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It went from snow to rain to 70 degrees, back to snow, back to rain, back to fall, back to sun. It was just
yeah,
Welcome to Indiana.
absolutely. I had the heat on yesterday, and today I'm like,
Yeah, that's where we are.
something that I saw that was super interesting because it's kind of going to play into what we're talking about this week is Republican Senator Lindsey Graham stated on Sunday that there is not systemic racism in America. America is not a racist country because let me just quote really quick.
Make this good.
Really quick.
you see
Make
my
this
face.
good.
You
Make
this
look at my
good.
face.
Yes. So this is what he is quoted saying. Mrs. Harris, VP, and Obama, as two-term African-American presidents, proves that systemic racism does not exist and warns Biden to stop criticizing the U.S. for historic wrongs. So this comes right after, the arrest or the trial. I'm sorry, the trial. He goes on to say that trial was just a result. It was just a result of something. So America's
was it a
not
result of?
racist. It's just a result.
Of what? It had to be a result
Just a
of
result.
something. You don't just get a result out the air.
That systemic racism does not exist.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You
Now,
go- you
this
going
is a
plan?
senator right up north, right?
This is a Republic senator.
But it's LaGrange area or
no,
somewhere?
no. This is a huge.
Oh,
is a huge.
this is
senator.
an actual
yes,
senator.
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, did he read the Constitution? Or have they abolished the Constitution?
I think they probably abolished it.
When?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Since there is no systemic racism, I'm just saying. Hey,
Yeah, he said that racism has become a stain on our nation's soul.
Yeah.
But how could that be if it doesn't exist?
My
And there would
question
be no
is-
stain.
my question is, if we can't, didn't they give the people the Holocaust reparations?
Yes.
Okay.
They gave the American Indians reparations.
Yeah, I was going there too.
They gave the Chinese Americans or Japanese Americans, I'm sorry, at the time of World War II, they gave them reparations.
Okay, so if all of them have reparations, and my young brothers are still getting shot and killed by the police for no apparent reason,
And sisters.
and sisters, well, we could talk about that later.
Right.
I just want my 40 acres of the mule. If it ain't systemic racism,
What is it then?
man, I want my 40 acres. Where are my 40 acres?
And my mule.
And my mule.
I don't train my mule in.
Well,
I need
y'all trying
a
to get
Range
40
Rover.
acres in a mule.
Wow.
I really
Can I
wanna-
get 1 acre and a dog?
We could give you 2 dogs.
I mean, come on.
All right, Doc.
Okay, well, so just talking about that in politics, right, Jill? I know you had to go down the road I didn't want to go. Do you realize that there are some companies right now that's stopping you from talking about politics in their businesses?
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
that?
Like-
That's one of the two of the things you don't talk about. Period.
3.
Well,
What's the third one?
Sex, religion, and politics.
Politics. Yeah.
okay.
Because that starts the big argument.
Right. Well, but people have been talking about them.
Yes.
And it's just what people do. I
Yeah.
mean, since when people start following rules, really, in businesses.
Right.
I mean, we were taught that in beauty school, and
Right, you're not
people
supposed to.
always talking about it. We know some bad things that has happened because people were talking about religion
Right.
in barbershops, etc.
Right.
But yeah, so officially they have made rules that you will be fired if you're talking about politics in certain companies.
Yeah, in certain
so
jobs.
check your workplace.
Yeah, certain jobs, and I'm at one of those jobs, you cannot even state a political party if you're affiliated with that job. You can vote, you can talk about it, but you can vote
You can't wear the
outside.
shirt.
You can't wear the shirts, and you can't publicly make a statement for,
Mm-hmm.
in some instances. I mean, but they try to stem it down that they don't want politics talked about in the workplace.
So speaking of business,
Yeah.
Clarence, I know you got some juicy
Well,
business.
yeah, and I just remember about a month or two ago, just a little bit. Y'all know every week, every month, every day, we got an update on Electric Works and how it was failing and it was not progressing and all of this.
Electric Works.
Yes, it's the OGE
I know.
facility. Y'all remember we got to update so much. Yeah. Why haven't we heard something in
Because
months?
maybe there's smart people working on it now behind the scenes. So when they say you moving in silence,
well,
so you really getting some stuff done.
that
then
could
it's
be
gonna be like
that
boom,
could
like
be
a Beyonce CD.
or it can be a failure and they don't want us to know because
I
do
don't
it
think
best.
so.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Do It Best is one of the top employers that is going to move into Electric Works. And they told them if they didn't have it on schedule, they were not only going to move out of Electric Works, but they were leaving the city.
Okay.
So they have the potential of losing a major employer. But there's no talk to saying how they're securing these jobs or what's going on. When it was failing, we heard about it all the time. Why aren't we hearing about the success of it?
How do you know there is a success?
A little birdie.
I'm just asking.
A little
I'm just
birdie told
asking.
me there's some other heavyweight people connected to it right now.
Okay, then why is
And
it
I-
so secret? And I'm not questioning you because you probably don't have the inside knowledge.
I-
When the failures was happening,
I
it
can't
stayed in
see.
our face. But now that the success is going on, why isn't it as prevalent?
Well, you know something? It could also be that our mayor got some things doing that he ain't supposed to be doing behind the scenes. That could be
He
it.
could be getting his pockets loaded.
And I'm
It
just
could
saying,
be. I'm not accusing.
Hey.
I'm just saying all possibilities.
All these speculations.
Hey,
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 but
J-
you're not telling me
The
nothing.
voice of the people says, if you don't know, you
I-
don't know.
I'm not saying I don't know. I'm just
just-
saying
just-
there's many possibilities. My only
Trying to figure it
question
out.
is why when it was supposedly failing, we heard about it so much. But now that there's these successes,
I would think they would want it to
I
be,
think- I would
be-
think
to
they
be
would wanna tell us
heard
too.
that it's being successful. Everything is moving on schedule. Everything is moving like it's supposed to be. That would only make sense to make the community feel better. I'm just saying.
Maybe they're going to unveil something like massive and
I believe
huge, and then
so.
we're going to be like, see, that's what's going on.
Well,
That's right. I believe so.
that's my hope. That's my
Right.
hope.
So speaking of business in our community, it seems to me that there's a lot of construction going on, which means there's a lot of people working.
Yes.
a lot of people because I mean on all sides of the city.
Well, it's that
I'm
time
seeing-
of year though.
Right, but I'm
It
just
really
saying.
is.
So we got
What
some. We got
what
some
is it?
good
Amazon
stuff
is
going on.
now building a new hub.
Amazon is coming.
Sweetwater is hiring.
Everybody is
you know,
hiring.
Well, Amazon building that other side of their building that they already got one running.
Yeah, and it's
And
going to
it-
be a bigger hub.
And
or
it's
something.
gonna be a bigger one.
Yeah.
So like I said, at this point in this city, if you don't have a job, you're
Listen,
lazy.
people coming to Fort Wayne to get jobs.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Yes.
They're commuting. They're commuting.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
work
I
here.
actually got somebody that I work with. He drives what an hour to get to work.
I ain't that dedicated.
Well, I don't know.
Anything more than 5 blocks, I might be late every day.
you just lazy.
I'm just telling you, man, I that commute ain't for me. But also, there is still some things that's going on that's being put off. Last week you told us that German Fest was
Yep.
being canceled. Now one of
You can still drive by.
yes,
can't you?
but it's not
Drive
the
through
same.
German Fest.
Well, I just said you got to
I
tell
mean,
the whole story.
Yeah, you can drive through.
We don't
You
get
can
to tap
drive
the
through.
keg.
But I'm asking, they're gonna
don't
let
get
me
to tap
drive
the
through and
keg.
get a
So what's
get
the
a half
point?
pint. They're gonna let me get a pint of beer on the drive
You can
through.
still drive through and for those
I'm just
people
saying.
that
I'm
want
just
to
saying, we-
enjoy the German Fest, you can still support the
Popping the
German
keg, I ain't gonna pop the keg. I ain't going.
Yeah, I feel you. But Middle Waves is a music festival. It's a 3-day music festival that's held downtown in Headwaters Park. And actually, it's bigger than what even us in Fort Wayne understand what Middle Waves is. It's a very big music festival.
Very big.
they
Actually,
bring-
I worked there. I think it was last year, and Lizzo was performing.
That was 2
Or
years ago.
I was
2
gonna
years
say
ago.
2 years ago, before she got like super
Yes. And
big.
Lizzo is the most recent. But there's been many names that come through on their break of success, and they do festivals like Middle Wave.
Okay.
But again, this year they're saying due to COVID and spacing and all of that, they can't safely have that concert this year.
But on another business tip, when we're speaking about these things, there's a lot of other companies that's really booming right now. I know Sweetwater. I mean, they just don't miss.
Right.
But they are just, because things are opening back up,
Right.
they are just booked.
Yeah, and their growth is
and
crazy.
with that, with Sweetwater, their Gear Fest is coming next month. What is this? April? So it's in June, the 3rd week of June. Normally they have
Is
people.
that the Rock Fest?
No, Gear Fest. That's when all the new equipment comes out, and they would have a 2-day actual event out at Sweetwater, and they would have people from all over the world come to Sweetwater that weekend. But again, due to COVID, they're gonna make it all virtual this year again. It's all online, which is not fun because you can't get out there and play on.
Yeah,
the
that's not
instruments and,
fun because I was gonna take my son out there. I just
Right.
got him a drum set, and he,
What?
yeah,
You
he
gonna
got.
let him play the drums?
My son is sick on
in the
them
house
things.
with you?
Man.
Huh?
I'm just saying, because some people don't, want to let the kids enjoy their talent in the house because they don't feel like hearing the noise.
Your mama got a 2-car garage. It's in the
Okay.
garage.
Get out.
But my son is ridiculous on him, so I was gonna take him out there and add to the set I got him. But
Don't do it at Gear Fest because you will go broke. Trust me. I've been out there swearing I ain't gonna spend $1.
no, I
look at my bank account the next morning. I'm like, man,
I was just
how
gonna give him
much
some more
playing this?
cymbals. I was just gonna give him a couple more cymbals and
Oh,
some.
you say that. You say that. I'm telling you.
I'm
and I've
cheap.
done that. I went out there with that same mentality. I'm gonna buy me a microphone. And $800-900 later,
Well, see, I'm going.
A fancy microphone.
I was gonna go to the clearance rack.
Wow.
Literally.
Yeah, I think
Literally.
they may have one.
I'm going
With
to the
every-
Now,
clearance
so
rack.
what were you going to say,
I was just going to say with the stuff that is, shutting down or closing again, I saw that the farmers market opens on May 1st, which is on Bar Street. So that's always been kind of a big deal. And that goes every Saturday from 9 to 1. So that is opening up. What's the first? Saturday?
Yeah.
This coming Saturday for the rest of the summer.
Well, I got something that's going on this weekend. My son is in the play, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe at the Embassy.
hey, look at that.
So
Congratulations.
that's gonna be rocking this weekend.
That's going to be rocking. The
Yeah.
flex going to be rocking
Yes.
in the house
Yeah.
Saturday.
So I mean, it's still things in the city
Of
that's
course,
going
The
on.
zoo is
Right.
popping.
I need to go to the zoo too.
Yeah,
Yep.
so a lot of stuff is going on. But
Yes.
with that being said, breaking news: the CDC. Now, the thing is with these masks,
Right.
So it's a whole different conversation. So yeah, people got vaccines, so the vaccination is up, and supposedly the cases are down. But the truth is, COVID is still there.
Yes.
You still have to be smart.
Yes.
So now what they're really saying is, okay, if you're outside, you can take your mask off.
Right.
If you're at a small gathering, you can take your mask off, or you're with family and friends.
Yes.
Yes.
And they say if
So-
you're in a group of all vaccinated, fully vaccinated individuals, you don't have to wear masks or social distance. So,
But that's kind of, I mean, I get it. But the shots, I mean, from my understanding, the vaccinations are not 100%. And then people that could have had it already and they had mild cases of it, or they were asymptomatic,
right.
they are still not
Right.
immune.
Right.
Right.
And people are basing their trust off of this. Like, they're saying, have you been vaccinated? Like, it's some kind of a. And then I read today that 5 million people never went back and got their second dose. So, yeah, you might have gotten your first shot, but 5 million people that got the shots that required the second dose
That's
have not
because
been
in
back.
between they start hearing about blood clots.
Seriously, because they cited reasons of number one, fear of the side effects that they've either had or
Right.
that they've heard of. Number two, I don't think I need a second one. So y'all saying that you got vaccinated, but you're half vaccinated, so that doesn't count.
But you come
So
on
it's
now,
very
tell the
hard to
truth, Jill.
regulate.
We've been doing
When-
that forever. We always change with the doctor.
Right,
Well,
right.
I'm a fourth vaccinated, and that's all I'm doing.
When-
So there's that.
When
always do
when
that.
would the scare tactics stop?
And they say the CDC says you're allowed to go outside with it. We are allowed to go outside if we want to go
sorry,
outside.
but-
Like,
You know, can
Well,
I
what
tell,
are we
can
on
I tell him
punishment?
myself?
I know that's
I,
what
ahead.
it is.
I just said, just true confession. I've been going outside without my mask.
Me too.
You know, they said you can go hiking now, jogging and exercising.
We were
and
doing
playing
that.
tennis and all of this
I
stuff
leave a
without
public.
mask.
I leave a public place. That mask is
Outside.
coming off.
And
I
see-
mean, I'm not wearing it.
I'm just saying I've been
Man,
doing
listen.
I've been doing it.
I'm gonna tell you something. I go to the gym every day.
it with your mask on because
No.
you're inside.
No,
Okay.
because good 80% of the people in there don't have a mask on.
Okay.
So I mean, you have to think about it.
But what are the rules on the door?
Now on the
It's-
door it says recommended, or
Recommended
suggested.
or suggested.
Because in the
Oh,
state
it's
of
not
Indiana,
mandated.
it's not
No, it's not
mandated.
mandated.
They're leaving it up
But they
to-
said businesses can choose.
Businesses
Yeah.
can't choose.
I mean,
so
only
it
thing
depends
that
on
only thing that they
business.
do where I go work out at is every other machine is
They got social
Blocked off.
distancing. in
yeah.
there.
I mean, that's about it. That's just on the workout machines.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you get to the weight benches and the dumbbells, hey, we about from me to clearance.
Well, as for me and my salon, we are wearing masks.
Yes. yes.
So, you know, it just is what it is. The workers in there feel comfortable and feel safe. You know, every once in a while, if they need to take it down for a breather, especially as we get closer to August, you know, the months where it's
Yes.
really steaming and scorching hot. But, yeah, so individually, business can say it. Now, you know, one of the things that really concerns me, though, is what's going on in India.
Yes.
Because it's just so sad and just heartbreaking because those cases, I mean, it's just out of control.
Yes.
But think about it. They thought they were they thought they had really just beat this thing
Absolutely.
down and that
Right.
they were really smart moving
What is it?
through.
Like
but
over
they-
300,000 cases in a day?
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
think about
crazy.
this. They just had what was it, the Hindu festival with
All those people.
millions of people at it. And so, you know, if you having those type of gatherings, so they had a whole lot of things coming against them for that.
Well, they say they don't have cases, or the cases have declined to a point in Australia and New Zealand that they are not in any danger. They don't have any protocol now in Australia or New Zealand. So it has to be some. I got to agree with E sometimes. We got to think of the positive a lot of times to, you know, give people, and let's not always dwell on the negative. And that's not saying discount the loss of people in that. I'm talking about we have to balance it.
Because I mean, I heard the other day on the news, it was like they tell you how many people had it, but they don't tell you how many people have died from the vaccine.
And they also don't tell you that out of the people that have died, the average of those deaths are 78.2 years old. So, I mean,
it's
there's a
just
lot of
like,
stuff that they don't
I'ma
come
tell
out.
you, oh, this is working, but wait a minute. Why you didn't tell me what's not working?
Right.
With it.
Right.
But you could tell me the death rate. The death rate.
You're right.
Of people who have died from COVID, but won't tell me the
How many
success
people died
rate.
from the
Right.
vaccine too?
Well, I
Yeah.
can
So
tell
you have to. They're not even playing the balance game. They're letting you basically know, hey, we're just gonna hold this over your head so we can control what you do.
Right.
That's how I look at
Right,
it.
because they don't want to report those numbers. They don't want to report any kind of positive numbers because right now we are doing whatever the CDC tells us to do. Like, do this and you get, people are getting paid to get vaccinated. They're getting special trips to get vaccinated. Like, the CDC has become our Jesus all of a sudden, just out of the blue.
Right. Well, you do know that.
Not mine.
Okay, but you do know in Allen County, if we can just bring it a little closer to home, in Allen County, we almost have 40,000 new cases.
39,846 with
Yes.
672 deaths, and that
Yes.
average 78.2 years old is for our county out of those deaths.
Yeah,
That's the
so-
average.
So we're in the yellow,
Is that
just so
where we
y'all
are?
know. Yeah.
What's the yellow
What does
mean?
yellow mean?
Not good.
It means the CDC said
Not
that you
good.
can wear a yellow shirt on Tuesdays.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of, what about churches? Anybody back to church?
Well,
What church do
I was opened Easter Sunday, and the majority of them now in the city have more open services now. They're welcoming people back, but some churches do still require that you wear a mask, and some churches are still doing the social distancing. I went to a funeral not too long ago. The only thing is they told them that if you're with family or you with people in a family, they did let them sit together, but then there was like a bench or two between them and the rest
Right.
of the people, and then the whole other side was socially distanced. But they are allowing people to go back to church, and a lot of churches are opening back up.
Yeah. I think some churches are going to remain.
Digital, virtual.
Well, I'm just saying both.
Yeah.
Because why not? Because they're obviously able to reach a lot more people.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, so doing it both ways.
When I went to Pine Hills, Pine Hills is a massive church. So when it's full in there, it is like full. So I kind of noticed there was more people there in attendance than I thought there would be, but there was definitely nowhere near what it used to be. So a lot of people, I think, whether they're open or not, are still hesitant about going.
Right. Yeah, and I think too, depending on the age.
Yeah,
So people just
absolutely.
have to be smart during these times.
Right.
So and just remember that COVID is still here, guys. This is Neutral Voices, just reminding you to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Yes.
Don't forget to click like and share. And thank you for hanging with us right now as we continue this good conversation about what's going
What's
on.
going
And so taking it from the church, and so hopefully everybody pray to keep our community safe.
Yes,
and I
yes.
pray that you guys all stay safe and we make it through this thing. I just be glad when it's all over. We can take our masks and throw them in the trash.
All the
Right,
way.
right. Man, I'm ready for that too. I'm ready to
That's
get
what
back
ready
to
for.
something.
And I'm
normal.
saying, so speaking of being ready, it seems like the sports arena is really ready to go.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, they doing their draft
Yes,
picks,
the
right?
NFL
Has that
draft.
Doing
started?
the NFL draft.
It's Thursday.
Yeah,
It's Thursday.
Yeah, I'm just saying, has
Thursday,
that
yes.
started? It's getting ready.
Well, yeah, the pre-draft camps and
Yeah.
all of that, pro days for
They getting
college
ready.
players. They have had most of those.
Yep, they're getting ready for that and basketball.
Basketball?
What's going on?
Well, they're still doing distance. Well, most of the arenas are closed, but they still have games, and in some places they allow half capacity.
I think the WNBA is going to go up to 75% because they start in the summer. I think they're going to be the first ones to test filling out the arenas because a lot of states' mask mandates have went down. So I think the WNBA is going to test a 75% ratio.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't mind going to a WNBA game.
so you the sports fanatic over there. What kind of stuff you holding out on? So I
Well,
know got some.
I've been looking at the mock draft and the quarterback situation.
Okay.
It's crazy how one of the best quarterbacks in college is getting projected to go so far down in the draft, and the other three are way worse than him. I mean, just horrible.
Well, they got to be seeing something good. You're saying.
What's the explanation?
Going
What
for?
what's the
Well, they try to say this brother is not accurate, and he doesn't hold the ball long enough. He'll rather
That's what I said.
scramble and run and do all that, which is false. The brother is very accurate. He got a cannon for an arm. He can sit back in a pocket and pass like nobody's business. But he also can get himself out of a jam.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they have watched tons and tons of footage.
Well, and regardless of how many footages, they always critique the black quarterback. Let me just straighten it out. Critique
Okay.
the black quarterback so rough.
Harder.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
10
well,
times
you do
harder.
realize that for this particular draft, what's a little bit different is that they went back like 3 years. I think they had to go back in
Mm-hmm.
the archives because they couldn't really see everything they wanted to see in a few games.
Right, because they didn't have enough film on a lot of players.
Right.
You know, and a lot of players stepped up, and you got to understand, which is also difficult for the draft because Deion Sanders was trying to have a
My cousin. Hey, cuz.
HBCU pro day, but their season is just now wrapping up,
Yeah.
and the draft is in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But what they have given the seniors is another year eligibility to come back due to some circumstances. So it is different. A lot of things are different because they don't have the film, they don't have the understanding. But what E is talking about is, and it's historic, you know, with the NFL. There's an exam that they give quarterbacks. Well, I think they give it to all players now. It's called the Wonderlic exam, and it's a
Look that up.
yeah,
guys.
Wonderlic. Yeah, and it's actually they had this test developed, and it talks about the leadership evaluation, of leadership, your cognitive abilities, and all of this. Which that's where your quarterback, which is the captain of your team, he should score high on those. So they say a lot of the black quarterbacks were not scoring high intellectually on these exams, so they didn't feel that they were fit to be able to play the quarterback.
I'm confused.
Sorry,
though.
academics matter.
So they're
No,
basing,
these brothers are smart.
They're
No.
basing their performance on their test taking skills and not like their actual when they say like
It's not their performance; they're basing their intellect.
The intellect.
To be the quarterback, you have to be. I mean,
what
you
I'm
got to
saying.
learn their playbook.
that's what
you
I'm
gotta learn
saying.
all
So
that
they're
stuff.
basing this not on how they can play, but how they did on the test.
Right, right.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's just what comes to mind is some people they want musicians that can read notes, not necessarily the ones that just can play great
Off of the
by
top of
ear.
your head. Yep.
Well, I mean,
So maybe it's like that.
if you're a quarterback in
I can give you
college,
that.
if you're a quarterback in college, you got to learn the college playbook,
Yeah.
hands down. I mean, some of the college quarterbacks, some of the schools, their playbook is thicker than the NFL's.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna assume they know what they're doing, not like the.
But it's historically.
not like the people at the Oscars. Oh no, that's not what I meant to say.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's done to every black quarterback, and then once they get into the league, they shows up and show them, oh well, we was wrong. Yeah, you was wrong.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about something else.
Go ahead,
I want to talk about some Hollywood
Talk
dirt.
about some Hollywood dirt.
So I mentioned the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, everybody talk about the little golden man.
The golden
But so the Academy Awards.
Uh-huh.
And so they had it at this amazing train station in Los Angeles,
Yes.
California. I thought it was
Limited
beautiful.
engagement too, right?
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful, and you wouldn't know it was a train station. I mean, looking at it, it was gorgeous. Regina King, I'm gonna give it up to her because
Yes.
she came through like a
I mean,
queen,
she's amazing.
just flawless in
Yeah,
that
she's
dress.
amazing.
If you haven't seen it, you got to Google it. You got to look it
Yeah.
up because she was amazing. But you know, so one of the things I want to point out about this one, well, I'm just gonna whine a little bit. So first, I'll tell you. So this one had a lot of firsts going on. So I want to read this real quick. So the first time they had 2 Asian women or descents nominated for Best Actor. First time they had 2 women nominated for Best Director, and the first time they had an all-black movie cast. Win movie of the not movie. Yes, it was movie of the year. All black movie cast.
Yes.
So those were a few of the first. But one of the things I didn't like when I don't want to mess her name up. Chloe Zhao. What was it?
Zoe? Yeah.
So when they said the first woman of color, you know, so I have to admit, I was waiting and I was trying to, and then it was, I said, "Oh, is she mixed?" No, I'm saying. I kept looking. I said, "Is she
no,
woman?"
she's
So
not.
I kind of felt a little some type of way because I was like, "No, I'm a woman of color," and so then I thought, "Well, what category do I fit in?" And so
a good question.
so we. I mean, I'm jealous. I don't like that. I don't want to be. I don't want her in that category.
You're not the first person that I've heard say that.
I'm like,
Speak
so
your
what's
mind,
going
Jasmine.
on?
Let's speak your mind.
Melanin?
What's going on?
Even
What's going
as me
Melanin?
hearing that, when they say the first woman of color, if I were to close my eyes and open it real quick, that is not what I expected to see. But we have to say though, what should they have? What
I know. Just
What?
what Asian?
Why? Yeah. Why? I mean, why wouldn't
I
she
don't
be the
know.
Yeah,
first
but,
Asian
and that's what I'm
American
saying. Like,
or-
why wouldn't it have just been obvious to say the first Asian?
Yeah.
I
I
guess
know,
that's
but
also
because
what
they
I'm
always
confused
want to
about.
water us down.
Yeah.
And just put us all together in one big old pile. If you're non-white, you just go in one big old pile. So think about when you're sorting your dirty laundry. Just
Really,
messing
Doc
stuff
B?
up. Just the whites always go by themselves.
Early Doc B.
I'm just saying, the whites
feel
just
you,
go
I
in the
feel you,
pile
I
with
feel
the
you,
whites.
I feel you. I feel you.
They even get a little extra special cleanser. You know, you gotta throw a little bleach or Clorox or whatever, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
then, but the other ones, the non-whites,
Just gets tossed all
seem
in
to
together.
just
Get
go
tossed
in the same.
If they're not gonna
old-
fade, they get thrown in there
Same
together.
old
Yeah.
funky, dirty pile.
Get on your soapbox.
I'm
Doc B.
sorry.
No.
Okay, but I did
No,
feel
but
some type
you-
of way. I'm like,
you are
okay,
right.
so what do we call us then if it was a category we were winning? So, you know, it's the black and brown, the melanin,
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
So
you know-
that was one
You know
thing I
something?
felt a
think
little
they
bit
gonna mess
some
around
type of way
just
about.
and turn us into just BLM. The first BLM.
Black Lives Matter. That's what we're
they're
gonna
gonna
be.
turn us into.
But so it had a little surprise at the end with Anthony Hopkins winning over Chadwick.
Oh, people
And
were upset.
People
about
were
that.
upset, but
Oh,
you know,
man.
I really didn't get upset about that because a lot of times when an actor dies, people do
They assume-
expect.
yeah.
Don't y'all be mad at me, black
You're right.
people. Black America, don't be mad at me. But because I love the Black Panther, Chadwick, all of his movies. But the truth is, and Denzel for helping Chadwick get it going on. But the truth is, I mean, Anthony Hopkins, come on here. I mean, he's a dynamic actor. First of all, I was scared of him in The Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Clarice.
Everybody- yeah, for
Clarice.
sure.
Couldn't sleep for a long time. But so, and you know, he was amazing. And so he's the first 80-ish, I think it was
81.
83.
He's
was
up
it 80?
there.
81,
Yeah, to win,
Mm-hmm.
an Oscar. So, you know, so kudos.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. And so on another note, little hot gossip. Oh, you had something to say? Before I
Yeah,
get to my hot.
Yo, hot guys.
I got some more on the Oscars.
Okay, well,
Well,
come
you
on.
finished the Oscars. I was going away from
No,
that.
no.
from the
Actually,
Oscars.
her, Joey Badass, and that's his name. That's
Bleep.
his name. That's his name. That's not a bleep. That's his
Well, I
actual
can't
name.
say it in front of my
That's
daddy.
his actually
Okay,
name.
go.
They are actually they actually won Oscars for music. Joey won it for Jesus in the
what was
Judas
it?
in the
The
Black
Messiah.
Messiah.
Yep.
That's
And
it.
her won
Judas
it for,
and the Black Messiah.
I think her won hers for that too. They won Oscars.
Okay.
Also,
That was the movie I was talking about.
Kevin
was it all
Durant
black?
and Michael Conley Jr. actually won an Oscar for
Okay.
a sports documentary that they had.
Well, they say it was the most diverse show. So this 93rd American
I wonder why.
or Academy.
Wonder why.
Now you said you were going somewhere else. Let's see
Yeah.
where you're gonna take us.
Did y'all watch the DMX funeral?
It was beautiful.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean, the Saturday before
yes.
and then the funeral.
the
yeah.
truck and
The
all
truck
of
and
those
all-
people.
man,
The
to see-
motorcycles.
To see them hit New York like they did on
Yeah,
the bikes,
yeah.
Yeah.
behind DMX, man, that was amazing.
It was.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, I could only
Heart shaker
imagine
right there.
being
That
there
was
live.
good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the funeral.
That was yeah.
And the lady who presided over the funeral, they was giving DMX all these acclimates and all these awards, and she said, "I wish y'all would have gave it to him while he was
While
still
he was
here."
still- Yeah, that's true, and we say that, and you know that's one of the things that we need to do better.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
something
we
know,
need to
do
give
better.
people
Even
their
with
flowers
each
while
other.
while they walking around because
That's right.
when
They
they
can
dead,
enjoy 'em.
They there's no point.
That's right. And you have something. You
Yeah, I want to say what Swiss said in that. And
Oh,
we
my
mentioned
God.
this when we were
Swiss.
actually talking about losing somebody. He said, "Get your business together so you don't leave that burden on your family."
Right.
We as a culture need to learn
Right.
that. We need to learn to get our business
do.
together so we don't
do.
leave that burden on the family. But and I know we're gonna have to get out of here, but I'm glad Eve led into the DMX funeral because I want to talk about the death of another rapper. But I want to talk about this because this is going to lead into our conversation this week, and I just got to ask a question.
Black.
Yes, Diddy. He decided to openly say that he's going to pay for Black Rob's funeral. Black Rob was a rapper on Bad Boy. He just passed away of heart trouble a week after DMX or so, I believe. So Diddy said he was going to pay for his funeral. But he is getting backlash for this. People are talking about, well, you should have paid the man while he was alive. You should have took care of him when he knew he was homeless. They saying black people stop supporting Diddy, and all this and all that.
Wow.
All right. Now, they're saying that Diddy robbed him or whatever. I don't know what the contract said, but here's what I want to ask. Now, if you were an employee at Ford for 40 years and you fell on hard times and became homeless, you had an illness that you couldn't afford, are you going to expect Ford to come get you out of that situation?
Right.
GM, any of that?
Right. Not a chance.
RCA, Mercury, Motown, all these other record labels that have robbed people in the same manner.
Yes.
Are you going to expect them to do? But
Guess what? It's so easy for us to look at the negative, especially when it comes to each other.
And that's what I'm talking about. So how long do we hold sins, or why do we hold us accountable more for other things than the things that really affect us as a people? Now, none of us know what the contract said between Diddy and whoever it was, but I can give you a speculation of what the contract was. It's a 360-degree contract. That's what it means. That means that Diddy put up all the money at first. So off the top, he get a portion of everything that they make. If they don't make his investment back, he stays in that contract until he gets his investment and whatever he's due to return. So if they never met that, then yes, he's still in that contract. But he said this not too long ago. We'll go to McDonald's and they'll mess up our order that day. They can mess it up that morning. Guess where we're going to lunch?
Same place.
We're going to McDonald's.
Same place.
But if I run a business and I mess up something, or you think I did somebody wrong, how long do we hold grudges against these businesses and not support these businesses?
Absolutely.
So why are we so critical on things that don't change our community, but we don't support?
It's easy not to support. Take a little bit more effort to support.
Right.
Say it again.
So, so y'all went there, some heavy stuff and death stuff, and I was trying to go into some juicy, hot.
You can still go.
No, because we're going to wrap it up. But so I'll leave y'all with this one question, though, panel, since I was going to talk about J-Lo and Rodriguez. Should she give the ring back?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
She got more rings than Jordan.
No,
Get that man that ring
that was a
back.
$1.8 million.
She got more rings than Jordan. Get that ring back to that man.
Okay, they don't have. Okay, wait. So this
They
is
just broke off the engagement.
Wait, listen. They don't have kids together, but they have companies together. Should they sell the companies and depart ways?
You can still be
Let's
partners.
still be
in that.
business
Okay.
partners.
I'm just
but
saying.
She got
you
more
like-
rings
you're
than
right.
Jordan. Get that man his ring back.
I think she,
Okay.
her,
That was a gift.
Her and
Well,
what's his name got the same amount of rings.
We getting out of here.
Russell's.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Hey. Guess what, y'all? Y'all ain't got to go home.
Yeah.
All right, now. So
Hold on. Who you?
I just say you ain't got to go
No,
home.
so, hey,
But
you know something?
yes, to our wonderful viewers out there, the Envy family, we want to leave you with this.
We touched on a lot from entertainment and everything, but the most thing that I want to talk about, because it's going to lead into our next few conversations. Now, we as a culture run a whole lot through us, advertising and everything. From advertising to alcohol, cigarettes, cars, clothes, whatever. We need to come together as a people, first and foremost. If we want anything to stop or change in our community, we have to be that change. We have to be that force. We have to be that change that makes everything happen. So let's stop looking outside and start working on the inside.
And with that being said, this is Neutral Voices, and we will see you back here tomorrow night for what? No.
Wednesday Night Live.
For Wednesday Night Live, I was going to say for what's going on.
We know that right
And we
now.
don't want to come back. We can't come back to Tuesday. So join us tomorrow night, and we'll see you then. Thank you.